What's going on, y'all? So listen. Y'all know what this big old smile mean. This mean that we are back for another episode review of Insecure. This is season 2. No bitch. This is season 3, episode 2, Familiar Like. Okay. Um, this episode didn't really deal with that much of the cast. It mostly dealt with Issa and Daniel, basically. And we got introduced to a couple of new people, maybe 3 new people in the episode. Daniel's situation, and then we're getting introduced to some more stuff that's going on with Issa, um, dealing with work and dealing with her trying to get out of her financial situation and trying to find a place to stay, other than being with Dane. Okay, so I don't know how long this review is gonna be because, like I said, it's not much. But one part in the episode that really got to me that I'm really gonna talk on is that whole situation with Daniel, when they was in the club and the way that he felt, and then after when they went to go eat and all that, and the words that he was saying, because that struck me, because I know it's a lot of us who felt that way, and I'll get on that in a minute. But let's start from the beginning. So we have Issa. Let's just get Issa's situation out the way. Issa is dealing with some more issues at work. I'm not gonna call the people at her job racist, okay, especially not Joanne, but it's, what is it called when you're not really that, but certain things that they're so blind color, they're tone deaf. Okay, Joanne is a little bit tone deaf about how the way things can be perceived, even though your intentions is not to offend someone, but given that you put this out here, people are still being offended by it. And she just not understanding that and not picking up on it because she thinks she's so woke, she thinks she's right, and she thinks she's doing something good for the hood, but it's really coming off very tone deaf, and it's coming off as if you don't really care about the people that you think or that you claim to be serving, you know. So they're having this meeting. Last week we seen Issa. What made me so mad about last week is that girl gave Issa that paper and told her to call them schools and see why that shit was on. They was letting go of the program, and then Joanne gonna get on her ass talking about something. Who told you to do this and all this shit? And then in the meeting, that girl didn't say nothing, but she said whatever Issa feel like. The only thing that should be happening is whatever Issa feels should happen. And I said, damn. So you just gonna put it all up on Issa because she's a black woman, okay? And the whole issue is. Joanne dead ass brought them out. You know, she got upset at Issa last week because she brought to her attention some of the backlash that was coming because of the way that the program was being ran. Okay, from the logo to the employees to, you know, the teachings and all that stuff. It being too Eurocentric, too you know, you got this logo with this white hand holding black kids, okay? It's called We Got Y'all. Why is it in that vernacular, okay? You know, there's not enough black employees, there's not enough brown employees, there's only white people, and there's only one black employee, and you know, it's a lot. So when we get to the staff meeting, Joanne is addressing the logo, okay, saying that her niece from school is actually the one who did the logo, and she was like, "It's my hand. Can anybody tell me what you feel about it? And you know, do you understand? Do you like it?" And it surprised me that the main people, the white girl with the glasses and the gay boy, I can't remember their name, and even the other girl, the Indian girl, I think she's Indian, the other person of color, you know, she came out and they all was just saying how they didn't like the logo and how does it look to have this white hand gathering up black children, and why is it that it's 2 boys and 1 girl? Hello, Me Too movement. Okay, why not take the hand away? And you know, I'd hate to go there and put a rainbow one so we can be inclusive for the gays and all that stuff. It baffled me and shocked me when I heard them say some of the stuff that they said, especially when a girl with the glasses, with the little short dude, she came out and she was the one that said she didn't like the logo because why is it the white hand gathering up the little black kids and all that stuff? And y'all seen how she been acting season 1 and season 2, bitch, you know. we went to the teacher, and she didn't speak English, and we told her to the Spanish teacher to learn how to speak English, and she didn't even do that when she was in that school. That's what she told that was one of her excuses. Um, in that school last year. I said, whoa, so this coming from you? What was the change? Have you been feeling this all the time? Because you just don't seem like the type. You seem like the type that'll let this shit go and be like, you on Joanne's side. But nobody was here for the logo. And then that girl came out that said, it don't matter. Anybody who, the only opinion that really does matter is Issa. And then we see Issa go into one of her little daydream states saying, oh, so now y'all want to be woke when I've been here trying to be an alarm clock this whole time and all this shit. Now y'all want my opinion about the shit that I've been trying to say all this time. And then she snaps out of it, and we see the reality of it. She's like being her very passive self again, just going along with it and saying what everybody said is correct, and I'll go with that. I don't like that part about Issa. I really don't, okay? I really wish that by the end of this, when the show finally goes off, I hope it's in a long, long time away, that Issa snaps up out of this being passive aggressive and just be out there. I know, she don't want to fit that mold of being an angry black woman, because later on we see them together having lunch, the co-workers, and they're all talking about what went down in the meeting. And I think his name is Ken, the gay boy. And, it was like, why didn't you say anything, Issa, and shit like that? And she was like, wait a minute, so I supposed to speak for all the black people and all this stuff? He was like, yeah, just like I speak for the gays, you supposed to be for the blacks and all this stuff. She was like, oh, no, I'm not trying to have the whole weight of the black world on my shoulders and be the voice for them and stuff like that. And, be into that stereotype of the angry black woman and all that shit. And I get where she's coming from. And I think with Issa, she just don't know how to put it out there without form her words right and articulate it, because there is a way to voice your opinion and give valid opinions and say what you need to say, and not be so passive and let things just gloss over, and go past her without saying anything, without appearing to be an angry black woman or whatever the fuck. But what you're doing is that's not helping the situation either, by just sitting back and letting all this stuff pass you, okay, and just letting it go by without saying nothing. She's part of the problem because she's not being part of the solution and helping correct this shit, okay? They're not asking. You don't have to be the voice of all the blacks or whatever, but when little stuff pops up like this is your moment to open up your mouth and say what it is, especially when they're asking for ideas and opinions and stuff. They can freely give their opinions or whatever. Bitch, give yours, okay? That's the part that I'm just not really here for Issa on that part. I just wish she would open up her mouth and be a little bit more vocal about the way that she feels, and stop daydreaming and saying what she wants in her little daydreams. Just say that shit out loud. I want it to slip out one day in her demeanor. And let them take it how they take it. Because at this point in time, Issa, like I said, you need to be looking for another job anyway, because this ain't cutting it. She goes to see Kelly, bitch. Don't look a gift horse in the dick. That's what my grandma told me. Kelly is a fucking mess, bitch. She is my favorite character on here. She goes to see Kelly. Kelly does finances and stuff like that. And she is trying to see if her finances are on order so she can go ahead and get out of Daniel's place. Daniel's supposed to be letting her stay for a couple of weeks. That couple of weeks is almost up. And at this point, she ain't got it, okay? Kelly was looking at her finances and was like, bitch, no. Y'all saw on that computer screen her credit score was a 425. She said there's excellent, there's good, there's poor, there's bad, and then bitch, there's Issa. And I said, goddamn, a 425? She said, bitch, you can't do shit like this. She was like, let me see your stuff. You buy stuff from Liz. She was like, I need my hats fitted. I said, bitch, that is a luxury, okay, at this point for you. That's not a priority. That's not something that you really need. You waste the money on that right there. You go shopping at the Rite Aid. She was like, yes, and I get my panties there too. And at this point in time, if Rite Aid is cheap, bitch, that's where she needs to be at, okay? Fuck all that. when Kelly said, maybe you need to, since you staying with Daniel and all that shit, you can't afford to jump out right now. You need to just toss him a few more dollars or whatever, and ask him to stay a little bit more. And she was like, he not charging me. First of all, she said it under her breath, and was like, she not charging me. She said, what? He not charging me to stay. Kelly said, oh, so what you doing? You concubining? I said, bitch, concubining. Let me tell you the first time I ever heard the word concubine from in the goddamn Bible, bitch. That was the first time I ever heard it. Okay, I think that word. I said, and harem and all that stuff in the Bible. Okay? And she was like, nah. She was like, lick it, suck it, fuck it, wake up in the mouth with it in your mouth. Wake up in the morning with it in your mouth. And she was like, no, we're not doing nothing like that. She said, well, bitch, don't look a gift horse in the dick, okay? Just stay there for a little bit longer, all right? Ride that shit out because you're freeloading as it is. And obviously, let me tell you something. Daniel still got true feelings for her because he ain't asked her for nothing, okay? Anybody that does that, either they a real one and they truly, truly understand your situation and they like, look, girl, I'm going to let you get on your feet. You ain't got to worry about nothing because you clearly don't get it, or they got some feelings. And Daniel is both of them, okay? He knows she ain't got it, and he also got real ass feelings for her that they both trying to play on, that they both trying to have like they don't. But we see when she get out out the meeting, she goes on the elevator. She was trying to call this property to be the property manager, and I guess if you're the property manager, you get an apartment to stay there on the property. So that's what she was trying to do. She had already got an email being rejected from one housing development. She tried to call her brother Ahmad, and he to get the room that he was gonna give her if she would have stayed with him. And he said him and his boyfriend are growing weed out the room, so you can't do. Well, had her on speakerphone and everything. I was like, cause she was showed up cause she said, which one is this? The boyfriend, which one is this? The boyfriend was right there. He was like, you on speakerphone. And she hung that phone up. Bitch, she called Daniel and tried to get asked for a couple more weeks or whatever. And he was like, Vanessa not really cool with you being there, but I could see about a week or so, maybe a week. I could squeeze out a week. And she was trying to say, okay, cool. He hung up the phone on her. I said, girl, Daniel tripping because Daniel going through some shit in his own. Okay, this is where we switch over to Daniel. Daniel was all about his music, okay? Now, the way that they're going, it makes sense, and I'm gonna have to mention it again. It makes sense that they don't put Lawrence up in here at this moment. If Lawrence comes back, I want Lawrence to come. If we had to have him come back, I want Lawrence to come back towards the middle end of the season when it seems as though, because it's looking like and Issa and Daniel going to eventually get back together. It look like when they finally figure out what the fuck it is that they want with each other, and then they make that shit happen. Here come Lawrence popping up saying, what's up? You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, like, bitch, I thought I can do this, but I miss your ass too much. That's what I'm waiting for it to happen. Bitch, y'all holding out hope, but it probably won't happen, but it is what it is. That's a little suggestion, okay? But it is what it is. Daniel was in the studio, his little studio with his little niece, and she listened to his music, and she was like, asking what to put something else on. He was like, what you doing listening to that? She was like, I need a little ratchet in my life a little bit, son. Your music be making me have to think and shit. And I was like, that's how it is these days. People don't want certain type of music because it's a little bit too much. Remember when Jay-Z album came out, 444, and some of the old heads was like, even 50 Cent said, that album make you want to think and shit like that. Niggas these days, these young kids these days, they don't want to do that. They just want to dance and be all that shit. That's exactly what that little girl just said. I said, oh, y'all better pull from what's going on right now. And Daniel whole thing is trying to get introduced to this new artist Spider that he wants to work with. He wants to give some of his beats for, produce for, and all this stuff. And he needs the introduction. Now, Seven, the dude that was in the in the studio with him last week, always. He said that he was going to introduce him because the girl Dawn was in the studio last week, and that's her cousin, and he could put a word in. They were supposed to meet up. Then that fell through. He's sitting there on that phone. Did you hear him call that girl up and say, "Hey, yo, girl, did I leave some ketchup packets in your house last night?" Oh, I did. I said, bitch, if you ever call me asking some shit like that, you better think the fuck again, okay? Because I'm going to hang up in your face and I'm going to block your number, okay? Some goddamn ketchup package. Bitch, whatever. Y'all seen when Issa came home to Daniel's crib after coming from Kelly when she was like, you ain't doing shit, you ain't washing no dishes, you ain't cooking, you ain't cleaning, you ain't doing nothing. Oh, she tried to clean up that house. Okay, she did. Mm-hmm. And when she moved that toaster back, I said, this is nasty as fuck. Y'all been using that toaster. I bet you the toaster dirty as fucking inside. You know you can remove the shit and clean that stuff out, okay? And when she moved that toaster and she thought that was a fucking hairball back there and it was a fucking big ass spider, the way that she reacted, that's me all fucking day, bitch. I don't play with that shit. I came home after being gone from Philly, opened up the door the next morning to see if it was no later, yeah, the next day, to see if it was some goddamn mail out there. Baby, it was a spider web on the door that quick. A thick ass spider web with a thick ass spider in that bitch. And I said, no, it's not gonna happen. I will go out the back door. I will let you have this front door. I will go out the back door. That's why God said we're gonna put two doors on this house, okay? Because of situations like this. Y'all know how I am with these insects, bitch. Y'all seen, if you go back in the way back, y'all remember how I reacted with them grasshoppers was up on the goddamn front porch. Bitch was standing outside, I had to get the neighborhood kid to clean it off and all that shit. Bitch, Ashley don't play with this stuff. So I understood Issa in that moment. Moving on, Daniel is in his feelings. We see him, oh, let me just get this little thing. Daniel is talking to who I'm going to assume is Vanessa. He stayed over there at her place. She waking up, she's on the computers tweeting about clothing and stuff. And I don't know if that's her job to do it, but she's making it seem like that's how she make her money, tweeting about the latest fashions. And I don't know if she was blogging, but I know she did put out a tweet. And she was like, "You've been staying over here a little bit for the past couple of days or so. What's going on?" He said his friend trying to figure out some shit, so he trying to give her a little bit of space or whatever. And was like, well, you need to crowd her up because she going to some bar or some place later on that night. And he was telling her where he was going. She down in it. Oh, that place so boring. It literally translates to put me to sleep, and it's so thuggish in there. And then she sees this thing, a post about Alexandra Shipp and Alonzo Ball being hugged up and wearing the same type of sweaters and all this stuff. And oh my God, I love light skin love. And he's just looking like, first of all, you're not light skinned. He's not light skinned. What are you talking about? Second of all, you can just see the disconnect. And I just, right then and there, you could tell that Daniel was trying to force a relationship or was just trying to force whatever was with whatever he got with Vanessa to make it seem like it's more than what it is, because it's not, just to get and bide the time until him and Issa get their shit together, okay? Because obviously you're not going to find nobody at this moment, because he's not really looking. He's just settling, that is actually going to vibe with you the same way that Issa vibes with him. They connect on all levels, okay? She respects his music. She asks him about his music. She don't put down his ideas about what he want to do. Actually, she encourages him and gives him other ideas. This girl didn't even do shit. This girl was just like, you need to do something else. You need to go somewhere else. That's boring and all this stuff. She don't care. If it ain't about her, she don't care. So I'm like, you need to stop fronting Daniel and just go ahead and say how you feel about Issa. And Issa, you need to stop fronting and just go ahead and let y'all just need to go ahead and hook that shit back up, okay? And try to make a go at it. So Daniel is at the crib or whatever, and he see that Issa cleaned up and he's in his feelings because once again Seven and pulled out. He ain't gonna be able to go to the club, and Issa's like, why do you need somebody else to go with you? Why do you need him to go with you to make this introduction? If you're supposed to already be there, just go yourself. You want to have stuff, you want to make stuff happen. You can't just sit back and just let it pass you by, okay, and wait for somebody else to do it for you. Bitch, go out there and do it yourself, okay? What's the problem? And this is when we see Daniel's insecurity. For this whole time, we seen Daniel, he's been like I guess you would say, a man's man. He's been so sure of himself. And now we start to see he has insecurities, and they're showing, okay? He don't really think that he can do it by himself. He needs an introduction. We see him kind of falling apart at the seams a little bit. Issa volunteered to help him and to go to the club with him. They go to the club. They not on the list. He thought they was on the list. Then we see a friend of theirs that they went to high school with who actually made it big, who works on YG stuff, and they eventually got into the club because of him. And we seen the way that Daniel was reacting, like, I could have gotten to the club myself. His pride and his ego was hurt because he couldn't get in the club himself. Even when dude said, if y'all need a table, we got a table over here, he didn't want to go over there and sit. We got our own table and all that shit. And I'm just like, dang, you calm down. It's okay. Okay. Sometimes you have to rely on others. Sometimes you need to make shit happen yourself. Sometimes you need to use the connections that's around you to help you get ahead sometimes, okay? And that's okay. That don't make you less than anything. We see Spider on the stage doing his thing. Issa go get a drink. This nigga is sitting at the bar. He says trying to get the bartender to give her a drink. Hello, hello, alcohol. And he started there. He was like, you trying to get something to drink. You trying to get faded. They start talking. Daniel sees this. And these two girls come over there to Daniel. And once again, his ego get crushed. Because at first, he was like, all into it. I said, first of all, they want all that. So you avoided that. And they talking it up to him like they really trying to get with him or whatever. And then they say, oh, so you so-and-so weed man. He was like, I don't do that no more. Oh, well, fuck that. And walk the fuck away. And so he like, damn. And then he see Issa still chopping it up with old boy. Oh, boy. When he told her his name, he started smiling. She said, oh, you got braces. And they're green. He said, green like my money. No lie, bitch. It's always one moment in this show, each episode, that has me dying fucking laughing. Last week it was Dawn and her goddamn pants, and this week it was that dude and his laugh. I had to rewind and said, did that motherfucker laugh like that before he said, it's green like my money? And the bitch got 2 drinks out of him, okay? For her and Daniel. I said, you better do that shit, Issa. That shit was fun tea, okay? And Daniel and them standing over there, they look at Spider. Then they go up there to the top. He's still debating when to go down there and talk to him. Khalil is down there talking to him. Issa said, come on, let's go. So he trying to go down there, and Issa being a little wingman to distract, Spider, to get Khalil off of Spider, to, I guess open up the conversation and let Spider be able to converse with Daniel, and Daniel kind of flubbed it up a little bit when he just lost his words. He got nervous and all this stuff. Baby, Spider, if you watch Greenleaf, Spider is Isaiah from fucking Greenleaf, the abusive little boy from Greenleaf. I said, all this nigga bitch shit and all this shit, them niggas is doing it. I said, what? You ain't in a church on here? Okay. And right when they was about to make a connection or whatever, or something of a connection, niggas started shooting up in the club. They had to run out. This part when Issa and Daniel go to a place to eat, an after hour spot, and they were sharing food. Daniel had a real ass moment. And I connected with this so much because when I told y'all that I was feeling a little bit stagnant and feeling away, and this was all before the Parkwood thing, and I still feel some type of way a little bit, that I was just really not feeling myself and just kind of self-doubting and all this stuff. That scene connected to me because I've been there and I've gone through that stuff. When he was just sitting there saying how they all went through the same thing, and he taught Khalil death, and now he's out here producing and getting hits, and Issa's trying to encourage him and trying to, lift his spirit by saying, well, you work with Ty Dolla $ign. He said, well, the song didn't even make the album, so what's the point? It's just like he too old to be doing all this shit and not making it, and just tired of seeing people around him making it and all this stuff. And it was good that Issa was there to help him out and to try to get him out that funk. And I felt that. I was sitting here like, boy, if you're not speaking to me, because I've had moments where, and you don't want to feel envious of people. I don't feel envious of people. I don't feel jealous of people. You just feel like, when is it going to be my time? I'm always working. I'm always doing this. I'm putting out this type of material. When is it going to be that time where somebody's going to see me and put me on? Or you start doubting yourself. Am I not good enough? What is this person that's just got in the game doing, and they done got on this and that, and people talking about them in this way, that way, and they're just blowing the fuck up? What is it about them that I don't have that I need to do? What are you looking for? And why is it that it's taking so long for me and shit like that? That's the thoughts that Daniel was having. And I was like, bitch, I've been there. I'm going through that. Like, those insecurities start playing heavily on you when shit don't go the way that you feel like they supposed to go, and they feel like you've been doing this for so long, and it's like, girl, when is it gonna really happen? What is it about me? And then you start playing on all your insecurities, and like, is it because what I look like? Is it because what I say? Is it because I'm just not good enough? What is it? And I was sitting here like, damn, why y'all have to get deep like that? This at the end of the fucking episode. Had me over here in my feelings for a second. I said, yeah, I've been there, kind of still there right now. I get you on that one. But Issa go back home to him with him, and he said, you know what, regardless of what's going on, you can stay as long as you need to. She said, what about Vanessa? He said, fuck that bitch. He ain't really say fuck that bitch. He said, it don't matter. It's his house, so whatever. She don't matter. Because at first he kind of drowned out. Did you see when they was in the club how he said he wanted to make some more complex beats for him, for Spider, when Spider was up there, and all of a sudden he was like, I want to do it like, and start beatboxing in Issa ear. I said, bitch, what you trying to do? That was code signs for, bitch, I'm gonna fuck you eventually, okay? That was what that was, okay? I said, don't beatbox in my ear like that, cause he said he wanted to be boxing on that puss. But he gonna get that later. Trust and believe. Before this season is over with, they fucking. You can't tell me. They fucking. All right. Sure enough, she get up in the house, she sit on the couch, and she like this, and he was like, what's going on? She was like, this couch, my back, but it's okay. He come over there just giving her back massage and shit like that. And then he go over there, listen to his music. She looking at something, laughing. He was like, what's you so funny? She's like, nothing. Then she go over there. And I said, oh, she walked over there a little bit too seductive for me, because I thought something was about to pop off. But it didn't pop off. She sat there next to him, and they were vibing to his music. Something Vanessa would never do, okay? Girl, y'all need to get y'all shit together. Y'all need to hook this shit up, because I'm tired of playing already. It's episode 2. Everything is good. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about it, and I will see y'all later. Peace.